welcome back to another Sims 4 building video. Today we're building a starter home, as if I don't have enough of those in my life. I literally built an official one. But anyway, today we're building one Enchanted vibes. Obviously under 20k as best as we can. As you know, because I'm blabbering on about it constantly, I've built a starter house for the official Enchanted by Nature pack. But of course, this starter home, of course I love it. Like, it's my child, it's my pride and my joy. But this is more so like an Irish traditional, a slightly bit whimsical, but not enchanted in any way. This is just supposed to be like a regular little Irish home to start off your life in the regular neighborhood of Enchanted by Nature in the coast of Admore in Innisgreen. But I want to make something more enchanted today because I didn't get a chance to do that in the pack. So I'm thinking maybe let's build in the Spruce Dairy Grove, because it's not like a fairy starter home. I want to just be like enchanted and overgrown. So maybe let's build right here, which I feel so bad now that I have to bulldoze lots that I know who built them. This one is a beautiful lot by the Sim Scrolls, and I mean, it's fantastic, it's amazing, but I want to build on this lot today, so I am going to have to put it, and it actually pains me to do so. Whoa, look at all the terrain painting and everything. That's so cool. I love that. I love this little peak right here. That's my favorite little thing. So what I want to build today is obviously a starter home. It has to be under 20,000 simoleons. So we're at 0 currently, but I think I might get a sim here with 20k just so that I know, so that I don't get too ahead of myself. So this lot costs 1,700. We've got 20,000 simoleons, which will leave us 18,300 left to work with. So I guess let's get crack-a-lacking. It's a bit of a big lot, to be honest with you, for a starter home. I think my starter home was 30 by 20. This one I believe is 30 by 30. But I guess we will try and make this work. This grass is like hurting my eyes. Can I just like dull it down a little bit? Oh Jesus, okay, that's a lot. I just wanted to like dull it down in the center a small bit, just so that my eyes are not like flabbergasted by that idea. Maybe we'll just make it slightly bit darker around the place. There we go. So I guess what I want to do is like, I kind of want to create a 2-story home, even though I know that that is a very obnoxious thing to do for a starter house. I guess I could do a little bungalow. If we're talking whimsical though, it probably would make sense to have a second story. I don't get why my houses don't place with like ceilings anymore. Do I have to like place down the floor? That's very interesting, but that's like a second floor. Hold on, it thinks it has a ceiling, but I have to put it back on manually. Okay, so do I want to do something like this where we just literally create a tiny starter home, a bungalow style? Obviously it is fully possible. Like, I mean, I did a 2-story starter home, but I want to just like kind of go all out with the whimsical vibes in this one. I want to make it very cottagey feeling. Obviously we're going to use the Enchanted by Nature items as much as possible as well to make sure that that's working. I guess that is a very cute little starter home. It almost looks like it's a second story, but it doesn't have one. Maybe if I just ever so slightly also extend the back. I feel like something like that is pretty cute. Or what if I maybe do the back roof a little smaller, like a little lower down, to suggest that like, oh, it's just the back of the house, it's nothing, it's really just, you know, kind of tiny and small. Maybe I could also do like a little bit of a chunk at the side here. Would that be kind of cute? I guess roofs are free, walls aren't free, but I guess roofs are. Okay, that looks a bit silly, but I kind of like the idea of there being something here, unless I just make it bigger. But like, am I just wasting money on walls? But I do want it to look good, so that's obviously always a necessity. We could do something like that, because I guess those kind of whimsical homes don't necessarily have to be perfect, and I kind of like the idea of that, unless we do like a little, hold on a sec, what if we create a little bit of like a conservatory glass room? That would be adorable. We could do something like this, guys, like a little conservatory. That's a very common thing. What do we think? Is that cute? I'm not sure. I kind of love it at the same time. I'm not sure. How much is this already? Okay, that's a lot of money already spent on just walls. That's not fantastic. What if I create something like this? Is that a bit too much of a far-fetched idea when it comes to a starter home? I think so, but I think I'm just going to keep going with this for a while at least. Let's try to figure out what kind of a layout we could do in this house, because it's big enough, to be fair. I feel like I've made it slightly too big. What I am thinking though of doing is some sort of like a small kitchen dining scenario here. Maybe then we could do a small enough bathroom kind of this way. That could be a bedroom, and we've just got like a sitting room. It's a bit big, isn't it? I gotta make it smaller, I reckon. Okay, I've reduced the size of this a little bit. Like, I guess what was very important for me when I was building my starter home, obviously officially for the game, was that I wanted to make sure that you've got possibilities for expansion. Whereas with this kind of cottage home, I don't like see much possibility unless you like bring it out where it's this way out the back, because it's such a particular shape. Obviously my house is also a particular shape, but I was, you know, I created some sort of like a hallway that you can add rooms to, whereas in this house I'm kind of struggling to see that possibility of expansion. And I of course need to also create enough space so that your sim can have space for certain activities, because obviously there's quite a few fun features coming with this pack, so it just makes sense for your sim to have places to do fun things. I guess the bedroom size is okay. Small little bathroom over here seems okay as well. That would be like the kitchen dining room, which now makes me think that there should be like a back door area. But like, what back door do I do? Do I do like this thing? I guess I could. Since this is more so like a cottagey kind of vibe, I really want to use kind of like these old doors. So we could have a door here to the bathroom as well as to the bedroom. But I suppose then if we're thinking of archways, could I do like a whimsical archway? This one's cute. Is that just a bit too whimsical? Probably this one will be a bit better. Maybe let's just do a small one kind of like here. So then we can almost create a space for some sort of activity. Like, I'm just so like into that idea of the activities. But then again, this kitchen is such a weird shape then. How do I make this work? I feel like this shape is not going to work unless I run the kitchen kind of like this way. But then this huge room just becomes redundant. Unless we actually make everything one bit smaller. We could just do this. That way the whole house doesn't look too humongous. And inside here, I guess still if I put the archway on this side, I could just run the kitchen kind of along here, because all we really need is like 2 countertops, a fridge and a stove. So if you think about it, that technically, although would it work? I guess Sims can prep on that side, but is that just a bit of a weird shape? Okay, I've changed my mind. We're not having a back door, but we will have is the kitchen on this side. And then over here, maybe we could create some sort of like an apothecary section, because I know there's this apothecary storage cabinet, which I've actually seen people merge together with another little counter. So I think maybe something like that would look quite cute. I mean, again, this is a starter house, so we've got to be very mindful of what we're doing and how much money we're spending, because we only have 8,000 simoleons left. But just imagine then, like, you could have like a fun little dining table. I feel like this area is still too big. Like, we could have like a fun little dining table. That looks fun, but whether this makes any sense, I do not think so at this point. Essentially, then my bathroom would have to kind of come out like this, which is okay. So this will still become like our little sitting room, kind of living space. Are we okay with that? I guess we are. I'm not sure. I like the way it looks from the outside, and that's usually the problem, because that's something I've really prioritized with my actual starter home. I've really wanted the outside to portray the message that I was after, and I guess I'm kind of doing the exact same thing here. Like, it's very important to make sure that your home is creating the vision that you're looking for, because at the end of the day, if you're not proud of your little starter home, the official pack, then who's going to be proud if not you, you know? You got to be proud in your own builds. So then we could create like a fun little window nook here, which I think would look pretty cute. It looks a bit silly just with one window though, doesn't it? It does look quite silly actually, now that I think about it. Unless I add like the bigger window here. No, that looks also kind of stupid. Unless I do this. I guess it is a magical, whimsical house. We could have like random window sizes everywhere. I actually kind of like that. I just don't like how that window kind of clips in. So maybe I could just do this. And of course, it's very important for me to have some flowers and potted plants. That was something I just had to do in my starter home. Okay, I know for the official pack we couldn't use move objects, but I'm just going to use move objects because the Sims are not here to tell me otherwise, so I'm just going to do it. Do we want to do like pink vibes? What if I make these smaller? I feel like they work a little bit better with these windows when they're smaller. They're 140 simoleons each. How did I manage to afford all this in my actual build? I don't know. Oh, maybe we could do something like this, like slightly different ones. Yes, that's adorable. Okay, That's nice. We've got some windows. We've got some fun things. Okay, so then I'm thinking at the back here, we obviously need more windows. I'm thinking, what if I do like that window here? And then we could do another kind of small one here. And of course, this is going to be bathroom vibe. So I guess I'm going to have to go... Oh, this is going to be a difficult choice. Unless I do this, actually, that could work. We could have like 2 windows like this. Yeah, what a stunning house. Whoa, you really built for The Sims, didn't you, Sandra? Yes, you really did, and we can all really see it. Oh, bloody heck. Should we use this window here? I really like this one. There's something very cute about that one, but it looks hideous. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I like the way it looks on the inside now. I've got 6,000 simoleons left. Yippee! How is this going to work? I do not know. Am I gonna have to reduce the size maybe of this conservatory? Let's try paint the house before we go any further. I really like the idea of making the bottom stone and the top like wooden. So similar to my bar, like you can see my bar over there. I've got, oh, you can't see with my head. I've got stone at the bottom, and then at the top we've got the, oh my god, we've got the new kind of shingles. So we could do something similar but with a slightly different color, or else we could do this kind of color at the bottom. That would be fun. Oh, I just love these like crazy colors. But then again, would it make sense for this house to be such a crazy color? Unless we do like one chunk of this green and then the rest could just be like wooden. That's a fun look. I will admit, I kind of like this. It looks horrendous. How did I actually build for The Sims? Oh my god, what's going on? Okay, I kind of worked something like this out. So we've got the bark kind of going through the main chunk of the house. Then we've got stone at the front, and then at the back we've got a few little shingles, which I think that's quite pretty. So now that I'm thinking about it, let's change the color of the doors to like maybe that earthier kind of rich color. Maybe we should go for like the orange flowers instead. Or sorry, the yellow. I think it looks a little nicer. Oh, wait, no, there's actually like a darker orange tone of these. I think there's something quite adorable about this. So I'll change all the windows to that more earthier, kind of richer color. I think that's quite pretty. Let's then do the roof pattern. So obviously we've got beautiful new roof patterns. There's actually so many different swatches of this. Some of it is hurting my eyes a little bit, but it is definitely a lovely roof to work with. I kind of like the idea of the dark roof. I think there's something quite whimsical and like old about it. Or maybe actually the default color is probably maybe a bit better. I think I need a trim because so far it just looks a little weird. With the trim, it looks... Okay, that trim is not lining up there. Hold on a sec. How do I fix this? I wonder if I maybe bring you up a bit. Oh, wait, kind of. I think I've got this. I think I just need to slightly bend you so that you fit. Wait, now, one more chunk. No, just one more. That is probably the closest thing I'm going to get today, to be honest with you. Okay, I kind of like this. I like the idea of like that little glass wall, but am I going to have enough money? I'm not sure. Oh, wait, there's like this beautiful green color. Oh, I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? Because the green then matches. Oh my God, we're getting there, guys. Okay, it's taking me a bit of time, but we're getting there. We're of course getting there. It's all just a work in progress, but look how adorable that looks. What if I put it on a foundation? Is that going to just like ruin the vibe? Because I feel like it just looks a bit weird, especially with the glass coming out of the floor, just like spawning out of the grass. I feel like it just is much better. Wait, now, how can I... Nothing to change. What do you mean? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was in platforms. Okay, that's great, Sandra. You clearly know how to play the game. Yes, you do. Okay, what if we do this kind of trim at the bottom? I think that's pretty cute. I kind of like the idea of just creating a tiny, like little... Okay, what am I doing? A tiny little step up. I think that would be pretty cute. But is that gonna kind of ruin the aesthetic of everything? It's weird how they didn't give us like a different stone. Do you know, like that stone to match on the floor as well? I think that would be pretty cute. But I guess that's fine. It's fine. We won't complain. What if we do something like this? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to elongate it a small bit, so at least then I could put some sort of a light here. Maybe something like this is kind of cool. I'm not really sure, but we could have something like that, which I think is adorable. Okay, I've only got 5,000 simoleons left, which is just not making me very happy. So I guess maybe I'm gonna... Oh, excuse me, did I just put that into the basement? Okay, those appliances are actually very expensive. So I think to make this make more sense, I'm probably just going to go for the regular kind of appliances to save a little bit of money because this is a starter home. But I do like the idea of using these cabinets. So maybe those are something that we could keep. Maybe let's go for like that light wood. And then just like regular white appliances. I think that's pretty. Let's do a nice regular sink, but maybe with slightly bronze kind of details, because you can see, excuse me, as you can see, the kind of handle of the fridge is like slightly bronzy and it kind of matches the idea of that wooden shade. So I think that's pretty cool. In a starter house, I don't bother with cabinets. I think there's just no need because I want to obviously prioritize on other things, such as like this cute little apothecary section, which again, maybe this could be a slightly different color. And because this is a starter home, we don't want to implement too many personalized colors on the inside of the house. We want it to be as neutral as possible so that whoever downloads this pack is going to be able to kind of implement their own ideas and their own favorites. So we want to make sure that it looks as neutral as possible. And I think something like that looks pretty cute. Okay, so obviously let's just get our necessities. Like let's get ourselves a little bed. I think in this case, I'm not going to use the Enchanted by Nature bed. I am just going to go for something kind of simple. I don't really want to waste my money on that fancy bed because this is a starter home. So maybe something like this would probably work quite cute. Oh, I kind of like the idea of like the old, like kind of slightly scuffed up vibe. Because, you know, it's a starter home. You want to like start from the scratch, if you get me. Maybe I'll put this lamp kind of next to the bed as well. Maybe something like that. Okay. And then over here is a perfect little nook for a little dresser. So let's maybe add, wait, now I like this one. Yeah, I think this is the one that I've used in my own build, and I think it just fits this pack quite nicely. So something like that would be ideal. And essentially that's kind of all you need, you know, in your starter home bedroom. Like you've got a light, you've got a bedside locker. It's kind of all you need really. Let's just whack out the bathroom really quickly. So of course we need a shower. And again, because this is a starter home, I'm not going to go for like crazy whimsical items. I am just going to go for the regular. And now that I think about it, I feel like I'm going to have to move the door slightly over to the side so that we could fit a little sink and a little toilet here. So I think that should be functional. I mean, I know I'm using alt placement and move objects, which is something that I did not do obviously in my regular build, but I feel like that should be okay. I think I actually splurged because I know the way like this is just a regular mirror. I could have used this, but I'm 90% sure I actually used this mirror in my official build because I just did not want to use the other one. I just thought that this was like a better option regardless because it's just like a bigger, nicer mirror. Like I could have also used this one, but I don't think I've used that one. Maybe for the purpose of this video, I might actually use this one because there's actually nothing wrong with this one. But for some reason, I just did not like that other one when I was building my official home. I guess I wanted it to be more timeless. And I guess this one is very timeless because it's so small and just like regular. But I just thought that this one had better, more richer qualities and it just looked fancier. Anyways, what I did have in my starter home was a toilet roll because I am not savage. We like to make sure that we could wipe in our bathroom. So always make sure you've got a toilet roll. But what I didn't have in my regular build was a towel, like an actual towel for the bath. So maybe we'll try implement at least a towel in here. Okay, I really don't like that. I'm sorry, I really don't like that mirror. No, I'm gonna have to use this one. I'm so sorry. I know I was just like, yeah, let's go. But I think is it that one that I used? I think it is. Why do I hate them all? Like I hate old mirrors. This one's just hideous. Don't even go near me with that one. I kind of like this one now that I think about it. This one's very whimsical. Oh, but I don't really like the gray. Oh, am I gonna have to do this one? See, I feel like this one should be higher up. Okay, let's just do this one for now. Why am I like stressing over the mirror in the bathroom? Like, why am I stressing over the mirror? I guess maybe it makes sense that I've used the cheapest one here because I've also implemented a towel. So I guess that makes sense. Now let's move on into the sitting room. So again, you don't want to make your sitting room too overcrowded. My logic when I was building for the pack was, imagine you start off your house. In this house, essentially, like you could have two sims in this house because you've got a double bed, so you can start your family with either a single sim or a sim with a partner. So two sims already have to have somewhere to sit down. But usually within the next 10 minutes, when you plonk your family into this house, the welcome wagon will come along and usually you will invite them. So you want to have at least 3 seats because usually welcome wagon is 3 people. So I kind of thought to myself, at least if I have 3 seats so that I can invite my welcome wagon to sit down. Like we don't have to be sitting down, but at least the welcome wagon will have somewhere to put their little fruitcake and to sit down with you. So maybe we could work with, oh, I love this couch. This is the green couch that I've used in my starter home. And honestly, I think it's a perfect couch. couch. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is like the perfect couch to have. We don't need a TV because who cares about a TV, honestly? Not me. I don't think it's a necessity. We could actually use this kind of green matching little chair. I think something like that would be adorable. One thing that I did learn from the Sims team when we were building is don't create spaces that will make your Sims look like they could get stuck in them, or like spaces that look like they're accessible but they're actually inaccessible. So now every time I look at like little gaps like this, I'm like, oh my god, are my Sims gonna think they can go in there? Am I going to be creating spaces that like your Sims potentially could get stuck in? But I guess I have to stop thinking about that because the Sims team are not here holding my hand anymore, so I gotta kind of just move on, I guess. This whole space is very weird, but I kind of like the idea of having like area to put, like, even if you wanted to get the apothecary table, which I'm not going to add that in here. Excuse me, what am I doing? I like the idea that when your Sim comes in here, they could maybe like put the table here or even here, you know. I like the idea of creating spaces that are easily accessible by your Sims. I think that's more important in a starter home, even though that space is a bit of a weird shape, but I just like it from the outside. So anyways, I guess what I'm going to do here is maybe just put down like a little coffee table. Okay, that looks like a weird space. No, hold on a while. Maybe let's go this way, and we could have something like this, I guess. Okay, when you press F5, it gives you the quarter tile placement, which is something we were allowed to use. So maybe I could do something like this. Okay, that now looks like a space that your Sim could defo get stuck in. Of course, I can use the Alt key, so maybe I will use the Alt key and I'll just place that a bit closer. I guess this door could be closer to the wall a little bit. Oh god, I'm not sure. Does that look nice? That is literally the space that I was just talking about that I don't want to create, but maybe that just has to be like this. So then we've got a lovely little area, unless I put that chair like over here at a slight angle. Is that weird? Yeah, it is a bit weird, isn't it? No, let's not do that. Maybe we could put like a lamp there or something. So yeah, maybe I'm happy with this kind of being like that. Oh god, I'm like still not really happy with this home. Also, why is this home so bright? Is it because I've got 2 saucers? But like, if I don't have a saucer, then it'll be so dark. Also, like, what else do I actually put in here? Obviously, a bookcase is quite important because you want your Sims to have at least something to do. We've got a nice new bookcase that maybe I could actually shove that here. I think maybe something like this would be pretty interesting here. Although the idea of that window here is kind of pissing me off, so maybe not there. Oh, maybe it could go here. Wait, now maybe that's a little bit of a better, although no, that's still... Why is this space like so just like not working? Like, I don't like the way this space is working. Oh no, what have I done? What have I created? Unless I get rid of this window and just have like one window on that side. And then we could do like a nice little bookcase here with a stunning little plant next to it. And by stunning plant, I mean this one. Wow, how stunning and so nice. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty cute. I kind of like that. So maybe we just don't need that window there. I guess we don't. Do we? No, we don't. Oh, over here we could have a nice desk. That a bit weird of a space to just like walk in on a desk. Maybe not. Okay, I'm not sure about this space. Unless I could do something like this, where we've got a nice little chair like this way. No, logically it probably makes sense to have this room this way, and maybe I could actually do like a chair that way, unless we do 2 chairs like this. Wait, I've got an idea. Maybe I could do this at a slight angle, put a nice little light in the corner. No, that's silly. That's stupid. I hate that. Like, that just looks like an interview setup. Like, what are you saying to that person sitting on the couch? Like, that makes no sense. I like the idea of this because it almost creates like a little hallway with the backing of the couch. But like, that's a bit too squishy. Like, that makes 0 sense. And if I put that chair here, then I think your Sims will literally get stuck. Unless I do this, actually. That's not actually the worst idea, because it creates like a separate sitting room space. I know I'm also working with like no flooring or anything at the moment, but I don't know. I just feel like it's important to work things out first. That's exactly how I built my homes, actually. I liked the idea of creating the vision before I actually went in with all of the design choices. I thought that was more important. Are these curtains nice? I don't think they are. This one's kind of cute. Is there a green version? Oh, I kind of like this. Oh, I like that. Okay, I guess to make it match, we could go this. Oh, yes. Okay, I kind of like this. I kind of like that. I think so. I still don't know what I'm going to put into this corner. I guess though what I could do, I've got 6,000 simoleons left actually, just letting everyone know. I think that's pretty good. There is a new Nature Press little book thing, which I actually really, really love. Wait, what is that? Is that one of the new things I got with the early buying the game early thing, even though I got it early access? Is that what it is? What is that? Fairy disguised fairy home. Oh my god, I love this. Wait, what other things did I get? This thing. Oh my god, I actually remember using this when I was building, and they were like, no, sorry, you can't use that because that's like a reward item. And I was like, what does that mean? And now I understand what it means. Wait, wasn't there like a third item? What was the third item you get? It wasn't the gnomes, I don't think. No, the letterbox was a regular thing, wasn't it? Wait, what was the third thing you get? Am I gonna have to Google it? Oh, wait a second. It's like a fountain. Is it in like build mode? Oh, it's here. Lofty leaf pond. Oh my god, that is so cute. Oh, okay. I was going to go into live mode, but that is totally going to... Oh my god, the swatches. I was going to go into live mode, but that is going to ruin my prices. And like the objects are going to reduce in price if I go into live mode. So I want to see how this looks at the very end. So we might have a quick look at this. Oh my god, I love this pond. I thought it was going to be quite small, but this is huge. I love that. Okay, that's very cute. We love to see some free items. Okay, so I really like the idea of having a nature press in here because that's obviously like a new item. But what if we create like a small little like desk area looking thing, maybe with like a regular chair, and then maybe inside here we could use like the bigger table, you know, because obviously this dining room is quite big. I'm very ambitious with the size of this little conservatory, so maybe we could actually use the bigger table. It is more expensive, but I feel like we've got the money to splurge. Yeah, that looks kind of cool inside here. And then over here we could have like the new nature press, because that was something that I was asked to add actually to my own starter house. That was like, you know, towards the very end when we were going through things, they were like, look, we're gonna have a cool new feature, we want you to add it into the game. And I was like, of course, don't gotta tell me twice, of course I'll add it. Maybe we could make like a fun little hangout spot. Oh, maybe we could put like the little acorn there. Okay, he's huge actually now that I think about it. He's a massive. Also, this light is huge as well. Can I just get like a small little light, please? Oh, that thing would be cute here actually, but I think that's like a lockable item, and that's also 222 simoleons, and not on my watch. I want like a small little light. Oh, this thing. The oil lamp. That is so pretty. Look at this little corner. Yes. Okay. So I love that. So that's like your little fun, like little hangout spot that like you do your arts and crafts in the corner. Oh my god. I actually really love that. That's adorable. But I feel like you would want like a little curtain. So maybe I actually will add like this little dude here so that it gives you like a little bit of privacy so that you could close the curtain if you wanted to in case the light is shining in. And I think that is very, very cute. So we love to see that. Maybe I'll use this as like a little welcome mat. I kind of like the idea of this. I don't know what I'm going to put on that wall, but I guess maybe let's do the flooring next because I don't have that yet. But looking at the house, essentially when I was building my starter house, that's kind of how I did it. I actually did it even more backwards because I put in all my items first, and then with the drawings that I had in my head, I sketched around the items, if you get me, because I obviously wanted to make sure that we're fitting within the budget, but we're also maximizing the space as much as possible. So I still feel like, you know, if your sim downloads this house, or no, I mean like if you download this house, you could still like move maybe the couch and still fit an apothecary table in here. But I like the way that we've got areas for, you know, activities, because essentially when you're starting a house, you're either going to get a regular job, which I guess the job that comes with this pack is unreal, but you also want to make sure that you can like have like fun money making ideas and stuff. So it all just makes sense in the end. But let's just do the flooring next. So I guess I'm just going to use some wooden flooring for this house, and everything is quite dark. So one of the things that I've learned was the squint test. So I guess it probably would make sense if I go for the lighter floorboards, and actually these ones are very cheap, but they have a very nice wood grain with some very interesting details. And what I mean by squint test is that if you've got like some dark items, which I've chosen quite a lot of the dark wood, you want to make sure that you don't also use a dark floor, because everything is going to blend into one, especially on someone that's running their game, a lower end computer. Oh, sorry, this base game wall, I only just realized it has very cute little like designs, little things. Oh my god, that's very cute. But you want to make sure that whoever is playing can really see the items. So that's why when you squint, and if you can see them, it's good. If you can't see them, then it's obviously bad. I actually really like this wall. wallpaper. I cannot believe I didn't even consider to use this, but I guess I wasn't building like a mystical house. Like my houses, I only built like the bar as the mystical space, and then the other homes that I built were more modern, which I obviously really enjoyed, so it makes sense. But I really like this wallpaper because it has a very, very adorable like mystical feature that almost looks like it's been like handcrafted or hand carved, which I think is very, very nice. Now I think that wall is kind of bare and it pisses me off a little bit when walls are bare, so let's maybe create some sort of a little picture collage. And I know you may be like, Sandra, why are you wasting money on a picture collage? But this is my OCD. This is how I built my homes. This is my thought process when I'm building a starter home. If something is bothering me, if something is losing balance, okay, this is also bothering me, but when something is lacking balance, like right here, this wall seems too empty for the amount of stuff on the right hand side, I will need to fill it up with some items to make sure that it has the regular amount of heaviness on both sides. And maybe that is just something that's going on in my own head, but that is just something that I've got to do. And I think a very fun way of doing something like this is creating a little picture collage with some paintings. They don't have to be fancy schnazzy paintings. It could literally be anything. Like we've got these flowers and some pears, and I think already by adding like a little collage, first of all, you've added a personalized touch to your home because no one has this collage except for you, but it just also looks kind of interesting and it just takes up the space nicer. Maybe I'll actually spread them out the tiniest bit more just to make sure that we are filling in the space as much as possible. But considering they are paintings, I feel like they should be up a bit higher because I feel like that's a bit too low. But I guess it's also The Sims, so it doesn't really matter. But already I feel like the balance is just working a little bit better and I feel happier looking at that wall. Okay, I'm still not happy with the positioning of these, but that's just my OCD, but I guess it's fine. We've got some new potted plants, so I obviously want to use some of those. Now, the only thing that bothers me a little bit about them is that they're quite small and, you know, I'd like to put them on a little table. Like, that doesn't feel like it should be on the floor. Do you get me? Like, that feels like it should be somewhere higher. But one of you guys mentioned to me a while ago in one of my videos that you can make these bigger. And you can actually make the pots bigger as well. I know that looks humongous, but you can make them bigger. Like, there's nothing that's stopping you from making it bigger. And it does actually, it looks pretty cute. Oh, that's so nice. See, it just looks like it fills the space when it's bigger a little bit better. Okay, also these are so expensive. 240 simoleons. I don't know whether that's something we could splurge at the moment. Let's just hold on a while and maybe let's hold off and do like the bedroom with some flooring. I don't know, let's just put some wallpaper into this house because we're really working backwards today, aren't we? So the wallpapers that come with Enchanted by Nature, they're quite enchanted, of course. Like, I mean, there's this one, which I kind of like the idea of using this because I didn't use this in my official build. So why don't we actually create a fun little area here in the bedroom? We just make it a little bit more fantastical and more magical. I kind of like the idea of the dark wood with the yellow. I think there's something quite adorable about this. I feel like we need a little bedside locker plant. This one's 100 simoleons. Oh my god, that's expensive. And it's so small. This one's only 50. You see, I kind of prefer this one because it's only 50 simoleons. So I think I might use this one. And then we might also just use another one of those oil lamps. Just because it's small and it's cheap and it fits the space kind of nicely. Like, that looks really cute and it's cheap. Like, that's only 45 simoleons and the plant is 50. And that just makes your room feel a little bit more fuller, if you get me. I really like this new curtain, but I just feel like for some reason in this space, it just won't work. I guess it could have worked actually here. Hold on a while. Will I get rid of this one? I just don't like the way it fully covers the window, but look how adorable it looks. Oh, okay. That looks very cute. Like, this little space is so cute. Why am I obsessed? Like, I would love to just come home and just like work. Like, as in like work on my little like flower pressing. Okay, I don't know which color to go for. I think I'm gonna go for the yellow. Although that wood is just a bit too rich. It probably would make sense if we just go for a regular color, but then that comes with a blue swatch. No, I kind of like the yellow. I think it just vibrants up that place a little bit more. And again, that wall seems a little bare for me. I'm not really sure how to fix it. Because if I put more paintings on that wall, then I'll have to put something on this wall instead. Anyways, I'm gonna just focus on this room for a little bit longer. Okay, a little rug won't go astray. Maybe we should go for okay, my like pet peeve is what I was about to say, is when rugs perfectly fit a square like this. No, that's like horrendous. Like if that's the case, let's just put a carpet down, you know. So I like the idea of making rugs smaller, so I feel like I'm gonna make this rug small to fit this space a bit better. I don't know, you guys might hate that idea, and I totally get it. Like it's just like not everyone's cup of tea, but like for me, I just feel like it needs to be smaller. Is it too dark in this room? What have I created? What have I done? What is this? Oh my god, acorn in the corner. Absolutely acorn in the corner. And I'm also thinking little mirror in the corner. Yes. Okay, I love this. This mirror is adorable. The other mirror, I'm not a big fan of it because the mushrooms are a little bit creepy in my eyes. I don't know. There's just something that makes me kind of feel like think of a large intestine. I don't know. I like it, but it just kind of creeps me out, especially not for a starter home. But I think that little like acorn dude. Wait, how much is acorn? Okay, he's only 45 simoleons. Oh, thank God. Thank God acorn is cheap. Okay, so I think that little room is quite adorable. I don't think we need any paintings on the wall. I mean, we've got a lot going on, so I think we're okay. So that is a nice little room. I might just change the overhead lighting though. That is something that I would have obviously done for a regular pack as well. So let's think. We're not going to use the Enchanted by Nature sticks attached to your ceiling. I will probably do a regular little one. This one is a very nice one because it emits quite nice lighting. Obviously, when like I was working on this pack for so long, I like learned a lot about which lighting is better. But I also like this one because it's like, it's just like a little square. But I think for the purpose of this, I might go for a gold version of this light. I think it just makes sense in this room. Okay, I'm gonna do the bathroom off camera because I think that will just take me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna make it normal. Okay, I just did the bathroom. We did very cheap, very simple, but still like a little bit of like that design at the top to make it a little bit more whimsical. And I think I'm just gonna leave a saucer. I can't really fully remember what I did in my starter home, but it just makes sense for a top-down saucer to be like that in the house. I think that makes sense for this room. Let's just quickly do the flooring of the kitchen. And with this, I'm not sure, do I just want to continue with the wood, especially because we've got that archway going on, so it probably would make sense. You see what I did there? But maybe we could create like a little bit of an area like that for the kitchen. I think that's actually cute, guys. I think there's something about this that's adorable because it kind of gives you a little bit of like whimsical vibe. Okay, we need a bin actually. Hold on 1 second. Can I put a bin like next to the fridge? Yes, there we go. Okay, fully functional, I'd like to think anyways. Maybe we do the table actually like that way more than that. Although, oh, maybe that actually looks okay. Right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the same light here in the kitchen as well. And I think I'm going to really primarily focus the light in the center between like this area, because obviously a lot of light is coming through the conservatory room, so we don't really need to worry about the lights too much. And now let's do a nice little wall pattern. So I guess, again, like there's nothing really that I could use in the Enchanted by Nature because, like, I guess what am I supposed to do? Like, I could do the stone, but is that a bit much? Unless I do something like this, like a little wooden chunk. Oh, wait, that's actually kind of cool. Maybe if we do a little bit of this and then just like a tiny bit of tiling. I kind of like this. I don't know why. I'm like really enjoying the idea of like base game things. I don't know what it is. Obviously, like, you won't find me using base game very often, but when you've got to use it, and especially like when you've got like a little challenge on your hands, I think it is actually very fun. And I'm starting to believe I was missing out all this fun all this time. Anyways, I think I might do something like this. I think that's pretty cute. So we've got a little bit of like wooden, and then we've got a few little accent of like tiling there. And I think it's like still following that neutral kind of wooden vibe. Now, the one thing that pisses me off is like the edges of the glass. So for me, I'd have to add a little pillar like this here, which I think I might actually going to do. But now I don't know which color to pick. Maybe, wait, why does that one feel too bright? Yeah, I think something like that actually looks cool. It just kind of allows you to differentiate between like the wood and the glass coming together, and I think it has a nice pretty fun whimsical feature as well. So I think something like this is pretty cute. So that's our little kitchen. Okay, so I finished up doing the kitchen and I've created this. I actually think that looks pretty cute. Obviously, I'm allowed to use the Alt key here because, again, no one's here to stop me. Obviously, in real life, if I was building for The Sims, I would not be able to do it that way because it just wouldn't fit. But I think it has a very cute, kind of adorable feel to it. And I'm pretty sure that still that counter will be functional. I will check functionality in a minute. And I've added this little plant here as well because, again, if it was regular building for the official pack, I would not be able to put that there. But I think we just need something here, you know, like something just kind of chilling. So that's why I've positioned this little dude like right here, which I think he looks adorable. And then we've got like a little rug over here as well. So then I was just doing the lighting of this room, which we've changed it to this little dude, and then another wall sconce over there. So now I'm thinking we do need a little bit of a cozy rug here. And again, I'm going to use a base game one for this. And there aren't a big amount of rugs that would fit here into a space like this. This rug is kind of fun because it's a square rug and I think it would fit this space nicely. But am I gonna have to like move everything around it? Because again, I just don't like how this is like exactly lining with that rug. I know I'm very like OCD with my rugs. I don't know what it is. I kind of love the idea of this one. This is also a rug that got introduced to me, I guess, when I was like building my bar lot. So that one is also a very fun one, but does it look a bit awkward? I also think this whole little area here looks awkward. Like it just does. I like this round one, but I just used that in the kitchen. So let's not use that again. Unless I make this one smaller actually, and we could use it in the green. That could be a fun look for us. I just feel like this space is a bit weird. I feel like I need like a plant in the corner. Like I just need one. Hold on a while. What plant will I use? Like you maybe? Yeah, I think I need a plant in the corner and then it kind of would feel a bit better. Unless I maybe just put one like this. But then like what? Like what else is here? Like nothing. There's just nothing in this room. But then again, it's a starter home, Sandra. You should know this. Oh, this green would actually match quite nicely. Maybe I could put you here. Maybe that's not a bad old shout. Maybe we could just chuck you here. Yeah, and just do like a nice old potted plant there. That seems nice. This is our little fun corner, so we don't worry about that. I put this little dude over here as well because that's a very nice little feature. So that filled up that space nicely. And yeah, I guess that kind of completes everything. So we've got 957 simoleons left, which isn't a lot considering I still want to do some stuff to the outside of the house, obviously. Like the outside looks, oh, like it is leaving a lot to be desired. We obviously need some sort of like landscaping. So over here, especially when I'm looking at this section, I'm just like begging for some sort of a tall shrubbery to fill up that space because we had a window there and we don't have one anymore. So we need to fill it up with something. So something like that already is going to give us a nicer feeling, you know, a nice little chunk of shrubs. I also feel like it is important if we put something on this side then as well to kind of create the illusion of balance. So maybe we could just have you kind of chilling, maybe more so on the back actually. Hold on a sec. Maybe if I just do something like this, that's pretty cute. Okay, I don't really know if I like this little stepping stone that I did, but I guess it's okay. So I'm just working a little bit on the outside, just kind of creating a little bit of a space out of this so that obviously your sim can do something in this, you know, space that they have. And gardening is obviously like a very important thing for me. I mean, maybe it isn't for you, but I love gardening in The Sims. And now with all the updates that we've got to gardening, I think it is a very OP little thing to do. So I think that having a nice bit of like space for gardening, especially in this pack, is important. So I am doing that here. I'm going to add a couple of trees as well because again, like where we are, I feel like we need like big trees. So maybe we need to splurge on those a little bit. And honestly, okay, I hate that path. Honestly, that is the first thing I'm honestly going to tell you. And honestly, the thing is, like, I know we've got 372 simoleons left, but like the Sims team were happy enough with me leaving 20 simoleons for my sim to start their life in a starter home because my starter home was very costly. So I think I'm just going to do the same thing here, you know. We're going to work until we cannot have the budget anymore because as I said, and I think I also mentioned that in my like best 10 fun features of the Enchanted by Nature is as soon as you get this pack and if you go into my house, you can just start foraging for money. There are so many fun money making schemes in this pack that I don't really care if we're stuck a little bit for money. Do you know, I'd rather fill up this space and have it feel vibrant and full And like we can always make extra money, you know, we don't have to worry about the money. So I think something like that already looks quite adorable. My favorite thing also that I think I learned or maybe got into this habit is like these tiny little stones. I don't know what it was. I think it was when I was doing my Gringles bar. I was like, how do I make this space feel more busier? Like I felt like I needed more, and these stones came like a godsend. So they kind of almost create you like a separate path, because you can obviously like use them as a path, but when you use them very lightly on the lowest opacity, they just give you the ability to fill up the space and almost make the space your own. I don't know what it is about them. You may hate them and you may be like, Sandra, stop using them. I can't. Like I can't. I love them. I think they're amazing and I'm just gonna forever use them all the time. Also, since this is like a little fairy pack, I like to make little, okay, that's a bit much. Whoopsies. I like to make little like fairy circles. I've done that in my bar lot as well, and I think there's just something kind of fun about doing like a little fairy circle. Okay, that looks hideous. I can't do it today, guys. Just forget about it. But I did it. Wait, now let me show you where I did it. You see over there, I did it, and it looked cooler in my bar build. And now I can't do it again. So yeah, I'm a one-shot wonder, as they say, I guess. Yeah, terrain painting can really help you out a lot without having, you know, a load of money. It just like makes it look more lived in and more detailed. And I think obviously like we always think that, oh yeah, to add detail you need items, but like not necessarily. Like I think to add detail you just have to draw, and you've got to add shading. I always say this, a drawing without shading is always going to lack that realism and that detail. So that's exactly what this is. Like I'm just adding more detail through shading of the ground, and I think that's pretty cool. So it just adds a bit of like realism and a little bit of something, and already I think my house does look more interesting. I'm like, something's possessing me to put another little shrub here. Maybe like something here. Is that gonna be a bit much? Do I need something there? Do you see what I mean by me having like bloody OCD when it comes to building? It's like, why do I need that little bush here? I really don't need it, but for some reason like I have to have it. Like I just think that it's funny and it fits, and I think it's kind of cute. Okay, maybe now that I think about it, maybe another shrub here. I'm actually the worst. I am the worst, I'm not gonna lie. This is also my other favorite little shrubberino, so maybe let's use him kind of like that here. Okay, we're down to only a couple of simoleons left, which I guess is good. I guess this part of the house is a little boring. How much is this? 60. Can I add you here? Wait, isn't there like a... Oh yeah, there is. Wait, now there's a new one of these. How much is the new one? 60 as well. Okay, let's maybe make you a bit bigger. Let's like put you there. It looks a bit silly, but I guess it's kind of okay. Right. Oh, we could have put stuff on the roof as well. Oh, I forgot about that. Also, these things, these are pretty cute. Hold on a while. What if I use these instead? What if I delete these? And if I just put you there? Like the green version of you. Wait a sec. I think I've got an idea. If I remove you and you, but just like use another one of you here, maybe in like the darker color, or maybe just the green, I think that would save us a little bit of money. Okay, that makes sense. So should we add something onto the roof, like at least one or two things on the roof? So we could add like you, because again, this is a starter house. We don't have much money to splurge on these things. I guess it does make sense. Why are you clipping through my roof so much? I thought you were one of... Oh, that's weird. Is it because I've got move objects on? It must be. Weird. Some of these are just not working the way I want them to. I guess I will just bring you up with the 9 key, and I might just put you like there. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of like overgrowing this house too much, because again, it is a starter home, but the whole idea of this pack, isn't it? And I couldn't really use this feature too much again when I was building my starter home or anything, so I guess now is the time to use that feature. Okay, that's kind of poor. It's a poor attempt, Sandra. It's poor. Unless I just do another one at the back, maybe. See, these look kind of cool, but like I think I need more of them to make them make sense. I don't like these. Maybe I just don't put any on the roof. Maybe at the front we don't have any, but on the back we have one, because like the back of the house is just more like overgrown because it's like old, you know? It's very old, so we just have it very overgrown. Maybe we just do something like this. Yeah, okay, maybe something like that is actually quite cute. Okay, I've got 92 simoleons. How much is like a bench or a chair? Oh, that's expensive. Okay, that's very expensive. Okay, I kind of wanted like a little chair of some sort to like watch your plants grow. I guess that's not the weirdest idea. Just have like a little lonesome chair. Okay, that leaves you with 52 simoleons, which isn't a lot, but also at the same time, it kind of is a lot of money considering I left my my Sims with 20 simoleons. Do we have everything though? Let me just triple check that I actually have everything to make this house functional. Like the bathroom seems okay. The kitchen seems all right too. We've got a bin. We've got a lovely dining room. I mean, we probably shouldn't have done that many dining chairs, but just for that whole extension of the sunroom, we needed that. We've got a beautiful little section over here as well. We've got a bookcase. We've got somewhere to bring your Sims in. We've got a very nice cozy bedroom. So I'd like to think that's an okay attempt at a starter home. I know I could have probably elevated the terrain and done a couple of more terrain painting ideas, but me and terrain painting or terrain tools with like the hilly mountains, we don't really get along very well. What I could do is I could add a little bit more detail to my path. This is something I sometimes do, just like underlining things a little bit more. Maybe that's not the right color. Maybe just a darker color just to kind of add a little bit of shading. Actually, this is something that I saw when James was in one of my builds the other day. I think he was in the Ladipo house. And I was after putting down just regular flooring, but then I underlined my flooring on the front of the house with like the little pebbles, and he was like, what is that? He was like, he couldn't figure it out. He was like very confused. He was like, is that a new floor? And I was like, no, James, that's just regular like underlining. And it was just so funny how he's never seen that done before, but that's all I ever do. But anyway, I think I'm gonna leave the 52 simoleons. I think that probably makes a lot of sense. Oh, actually, there's one thing I wanted to put. It was a light at the back of the house. How much is that light? Oh, it's this one. It's only 40. Okay, this light. Okay, have a look at how much this light emits. And I've only learned this when I was doing my starter house. Look at this. Oh, okay. Okay, that glitches out a little bit, but this light emits the perfect amount of lighting, and I think that is so cool. And I think I would actually rather get rid of maybe like a shrub or something. Maybe let's get rid of a shrub and leave 37 simoleons left. But we've got to have that lighting, because I think that lighting on the outside of the house, it invites your Sims, or you, I guess, you and your Sims, I guess, you could both come in, but it invites you to kind of work outside. Because like when you go into the house, you're like, oh, there's like a nice little bit of lighting outside. They want me to come out there and work, you know, and do things. So I think that's kind of fun, and I like that idea. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that light there because I think that's quite important to set the scene and invite you in, like, come on in and do a bit of work, you know. But I really like the way this house turned out, and now I think about it, like, I wish I also could have built a house like that for the pack. And obviously, like, there's just no way I could have built everything. All the other girls did such an amazing job on their builds too, so I'm just so grateful the fact that I could build in this house or in this pack. I think it was an amazing experience for me. But I'm so sad that this experience is over, and I hope maybe one day I'll get an experience like that again, or maybe something similar. I'm not sure, but this really was like a life-changing experience for me, where I've learned so much from myself and from the team and just about everything. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this whole experience. It taught me a lot about building, and I don't know. I think that completes my little starter house. It still looks a little clunky. I don't know, there's something weird about it at the front, but I really love the inside of it now. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. So I guess let's do a little tour. Welcome on into my beautiful little starter home that I've built for... Okay, actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Sorry. That is great. We've got very far, didn't we? I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to pretend that bush was never there. I'm actually going to add some shrubs on this side. I just have to do it. I just think that this side looked a little bit boring. So I think I might make you smaller. Like, even you already by yourself just looks a little bit better. Maybe I'll get rid of you and I'll put you there. Maybe that looks better. I just feel like I needed something there, you know? Like, I just needed it. Do I even need that chair? I feel like I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to actually put that there. Hold on a while. I just have to do it. It just, in my head, is going to make more sense to do something like this. And this was literally me when I was actually building for the pack. I was like, no, I got to redo it. And like every day I would wake up and I'd go back into the build. Yeah, you see, now there's like a little bit more balance or something. I'm not sure. I don't know how it is that I think of these things and what possesses me to do these things, but balance in my head is like key. I'm like, if I don't have balance, then this house is just nothing, you know? So, okay, anyways, yeah, that looks much better. I think I really like the way it looks now. So welcome on into my little starter home that I built for the not official Enchanted by Nature pack. Let's get into the let's get into the inside of the house and check out what it looks like. Ta-da! Okay, I actually really love this. Okay, what is going on? I feel like that actually happened in my original home as well. Wait, what is going on? That must be a flooring glitch, because it doesn't doesn't look like there's anything there to like change the color of the ceiling. Is it? Oh, wait, is it this thing? If I get rid of the inside roofing, and if I go into the house now, is that what it is? No. Okay, it's still painted a different color. That happened to me in my actual house as well, so I really don't know. Also, what is this? What is going on? It's ruining the aesthetic. Okay, let's not look at the ceiling. Okay, it's kind of hard not to look at that broken ceiling. What's going on? Why is my house like this? I'm so annoyed. Anyways, so as you come in, you've got this beautiful little workstation area. Then you've got a lovely little bookcase. You've got a nice little sitting room with my little arrangement of paintings over there. Let's check out the bedroom. Anyways, we've got a beautiful little, a kind of dark bedroom, to be fair. It is very dark, but it is very cozy. I kind of like the vibes about it. There's something very cute and very mystical, and I feel like it would smell like moss in here. I don't know. I don't think that's a good smell. But we've got cute little acorn, which is like my favorite dude ever. Then we've got a very regular bathroom. Stanosha, very nice. And then we've got a very glitched ceiling in our kitchen. But I've really liked this little nook. I think the kitchen looks very cute. And it does look very whimsical. Well, I guess not whimsical, but it looks earthy. And it looks kind of slightly enchanted. So like you can start a nice little family in this house, I believe. And I think it gives you a lot to work with. Sorry, I'm like inside my roof trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. Anyway, I'm going to try fix it before I upload it to the gallery. But I would love to know what you guys think of this house. I mean, I really love the way it turned out. And again, thank you so much to EA for giving me the experience to build for this pack, because I've learned so many things that now I can progressively share with you. And I'm sure with other videos that I will be doing, I will share more insights and deep kind of lore about building with you. I'm still not a perfect builder. That is absolutely, you know, a thing that I still know. I'm not gonna know everything. Not everything goes into my head straight away, so I'm still learning, but I've learned so much, and it obviously made me a bit better builder because I'm now more aware of the choices I'm making, so I cannot wait to share them all with you. Well guys, I'm going to leave you right here with my beautiful little image of my enchanted forest starter home. And actually, wait, now how much does this cost? It cost, well, 18,268, but the lot cost is 1,700, so it leaves you 32 simoleons. So what, it costs like 19,968 simoleons. I don't know. Let me know if there's any other things you would like to see me build with this pack. Let me know your feedback on this build, and of course, don't forget to check out some of my other previous videos. And of course, maybe if you already haven't seen my official starter build, you can head on over now and check that out. And of course, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!